This is one-on-one tonight. Oklahoma Republican governor and chair of the National Governors Association. We welcome back Mary Fallin. Governor Fallin, thanks very much. I heard this, the conclusion reported about a couple of months to decide on Keystone. I don't get a couple of months. They've been looking at it for years. They've had all these studies. The State Department just did another study. We need all the oil and we could possibly get. And by the way, Keystone's a lot safer, is it not, than rail and truck and all the rest of it? What takes so long to put this through?
You're right, Larry, on all those points. I don't know what's taken so long. You know, we've been talking about this since 2008. We've had the studies done. We've been waiting. Governor Dave Heineman out of Nebraska's approved it through his state. And so we keep asking the question, why don't you just approve the Keystone Pipeline? And I asked the President this week when we had our National Governors Association meeting in the White House just on Monday, you know, why don't you just do an executive order to go ahead and push through the Keystone Pipeline? And he did say, well, you know, I'm not going to tell you which way we're going to go, but you're going to have an answer in a couple of months. And so hopefully we will have an answer. I'm hoping that we will get the Keystone Pipeline approved. We have the Keystone Pipeline flowing from the Cushing Pipeline in Oklahoma down to the Gulf Coast, but now we want it to flow from Canada, Canadian oil, on down to the Gulf of Mexico. It's important to get it done not only for our national security, but certainly for economic security and for job creation, and so we can continue to have energy independence in the United States and not buy foreign oil. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, I think it's pretty simple. He says he's got a telephone and a pen. I wish he'd use it on Keystone. But anyway, let's move on. Governor Fallin, he did speak to the governors, and, of course, you're the chair of that association. What else was he selling? For example, I reckon he talked about the minimum wage, which has become very controversial after a CBO study that says it'll cost jobs. What do you say about the minimum wage? What do you say about the minimum wage?
Well, one of the things we do when we come together for our winter meeting is to talk about issues with the President. Of course, he talks about his issues that are important on his agenda. He did push for the minimum wage. He's talking a lot about climate change. He's talking about you know, the workforce, which we talk about a lot. I think it's important to the nation. He talked about infrastructure development, and of course the governors were saying that we need more flexibility. We believe we're having an energy revolution that can help us create jobs and opportunities in America. We talked about, from the governor's side, workforce skills and closing the skills gap between what employers need for job skills and what type of skills employees need so that we can grow America's economy. And we talked about how we need to keep our taxes low, at least those of us that are on the Republican side. And we talked about how the states are leading with solutions that have the luxury of having inaction like Washington, D.C. and Congress. We have to act to balance our budget. We have to make our...
See, that's the one thing. This is what I don't get. You're a supply-side tax reform in Oklahoma. Right nearby, my friend Sam Brownback, governor of Kansas, doing the same thing. A whole lot of red state Republicans are doing that. This is the one thing the president hasn't tried. He's spent, he's regulated, he's jawboned, he won't make decisions on Keystone. The one thing he hasn't tried was a series of supply-side tax cuts like John F. Kennedy, like Ronald Reagan, for example. Why doesn't he try the formula that you all in the red states have shown works?
Well, we're showing that it does work in the red states with Republican governors. We've been cutting our taxes. We've been reforming our pension systems. We've been prioritizing our spending. We've gone from having deficits to surpluses. We've lowered our unemployment rates in our states. We're growing jobs, growing our economy. We're providing, once again, sources of energy from whatever source it might be, depending on what state you're in. We're proving these things do work. But we also told them, you know, the time that it takes to get permits. We'd like to have offshore drilling. We'd like to have more cooperation from the EPA and different federal regulatory entities that take so long to get through. You know, those things are holding jobs back. And, of course, he has a different philosophy that the more government spends, the more it'll help the economy, which we believe differently. We believe if you let people keep more of their hard-earned money, they're going to spend it back in the economy and create jobs and create businesses.
Congressional Budget Office, nonpartisan, okay, come out with a study in the last week or so that says basically Obamacare is going to cost up to 2.5 million jobs, lost jobs from Obamacare, and about 1 million lost jobs from the minimum wage. Question, if you knew as governor, if your budget bureau told you that your policies were going to lose 3.5 million jobs. Would you go through with them?
No, I wouldn't, and that's why I didn't support the Affordable Health Care Act. In fact, if you look at just, say, the Affordable Health Care Act itself, there's a report that came out today that said 11 million small businesses are going to see their insurance premiums go up. 2/3 of them are going to see a cost increase. And so, you know, those are scary figures that would hurt business, it would hurt economy, it would certainly hurt families.
All right, Governor Fallin, we got to take it there, leave it there. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time very much. And all I'll say is good luck on this Keystone thing. It just seems like such a layup to me, but what do I know? You're in Oklahoma.
We just need to get it done.
All right, we'll get it done. Again, Mary Fallin, thanks very much. Now, folks.